Hey YouTube, Relics15 here to let you know that Konami literally just announced last night that we are getting a new box coming out tomorrow called Voltage of the Metal. Now, let's go ahead and jump in. There's a few cards in the box that I'm actually interested in, and some cards that I knew about, but so don't know what that's what I'm supposed to do effect is. But anyway, let's go over to the website that Konami put up for this box and check out some of the cards. Alright, here you are, YouTube, on the website. You see Volts of Metal. Now, in this box, we're getting three archetypes. One of them is Gilgas, I believe the name, Windups, and Heldrick. Now, um, fun thing is, Heldrix is an archetype from one of the villains in Yu-Gi-Oh's actual name, Vetrix. Now, I did not know these cards was ever printed. I thought they were like anime only, besides the XCs that we're gonna get in the box. And let me see if I can actually find the name of this archetype, because I know the name is like Gear something, but Gears, I remember the structure deck coming out, but I don't know what that's what I'm supposed to do effect is. Wind-ups I'm pretty familiar with, and Konami, thank you for giving us Marauding Captain, because he was a part of one of my synchro decks back in the day, and he helped me combo off. For example, one of the combos I used to do with Marauding Captain was summon him, uses effects, special summon Junk Synchron, activate Crowbar Hedgehog in the graveyard, special summon him back to the field, get to synchroing, and then I have a Junk Destroyer out on the field with 2 free pops. So I'm kind of happy to get Marauding Captain in the game. But anyway, let's read a few of these combos, like what Konami have, and I'm really surprised Konami is giving us this one, Random Couriers in Mati, just because in the TCG, this card is currently banned because of its shenanigans. Now, this card is a rank 3 XEs, well, Water XEs. He takes 2 level 3 monsters, and once per turn, you can detach 1 XE material from this card, special summon 1 Roundup monster from your hand or deck. When a face-up Wind-Up monster on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can detach 1 XC material from this card to target 1 monster and return that target to your opponent's hand. Now, sorry I yawned there, but basically, if this card, well, if a card in your field is destroyed this turn, then he can detach 1 XC material from it and then bounce something back to your opponent's field. Now, I don't know how gimmicky he will be in Duel Links, but wait, don't Rondos have a spell card that ends up destroying them? Which means this card will trigger. Okay, that might be more shenanigans that I'm thinking about. Well, let's see the little combos here that, well, Konami have for us. See, first normal summon Wanda Rat, which can be obtained by leveling up Bronk, of course, and then use the effect of Wind Up Sark in your hand to special summon it. Next, use the effect of Wind Up Sark on the field to decrease its level by 1 so that you can exceed summon Wind Up Carrier Zamati. Use Wind Up Sark and Wind Up Rat. Then use the effect of Wind Up Carrier Zamati by detaching 1 XC material Wind Up Rat and special summon a second copy of Wind Up Rat in face up attack position from your deck. Finally, activate the effect of the second copy of Wind Up Rat to exceed summon Wind Up Rat from the graveyard. Then you can exceed summon Wind Up Zamatis or another Wind Up Carrier Zamati. Okay, pretty good suggestion. Now, I was curious what Konami's gonna put out for this one, because I don't know anything about this archetype besides their boss monsters from the anime. Now, let's see. First, normal summon 1 Heldrick Beast Leo, then tribute it and activate charged up Heldry to special summon Heldrick Beast Leo and Heldrick Beast Unicorn from your deck. This will let you activate the effect of Heldrick Beast Leo that was sent to your graveyard and add 2 Heldrick Beast L's to your hand. From the deck, since you control 2 Heldrick Beast monsters, you can XC summon number 18 Heldrick Patriarch and number 8 Heldrick King, or number 69 Heldry Crest by special summoning Heldry Beast Eagle L from your hand. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at the other cards because basically to me that was a bunch of gibberish and I don't even know what I said. But we have Gear Giganta X, and I believe this was the card in the structure deck for for Gears. But let's see, he's a Earth, rank 4, take 2 level 4 machine type monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XC material from this card, add 1 level 4 lower machine type monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. When this card leaves the field, you can target 1 level 3 or lower Gear Gun monster in your graveyard and special summon that monster or that target. Okay, so this seems like a pretty good ultra rare. Now, I did watch Watch 007 video, by the way, link in the description. He's a really good content creator. Uh, uh, Basically, apparently to him, there's not really many gear cards that we currently have or gear gut cards in the game that we have that can easily go into them. But because of Watch video, I also know there's a trap in here that will actually help us go into them a lot easier. But I also know there's other Gear Gut XCs monsters that we also getting in this box, so maybe they can help as well. Now, this card I was excited about at the moment. Well, when I first read about it, because I'm currently playing a deck that banishes a lot. But then when I seen this material, I'm like, I can't go into him easily. But anyway, if you're playing a deck that banishes a lot, his effect is once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 banished level 4 or lower monster special summon that target to your hand to your side of the field. So he basically will help you recycle material. And basically the idea I was thinking of if I would ever be able to go into this was to banish the Lumina. My Lumina be banished. I use this effect, detach the material, special summon Lumina, use Lumina's effect, special summon Raiden. Then I use Raiden effect, get to Millen, Synchro, and you probably know it's Fortune Lady Avery after that. Or depend on the situation, Heavy Samurai, I believe the name of the Synchro monster I'm thinking of. But yeah, and now let's go over here and look up Roundup Sark, which I believe we already had in the game, or either it was a level up rule for Bronk, or Bronk currently have this card. But Roundup Sark is when a Roundup monster is normal summon or special summon to your side of the field, you can special summon this card from your hand for free. Once per turn, you can activate one of these effects. Increase this card's level by 1, reduce this card level by 1. Now, this one for a wind-up deck, I would definitely say play at 3 because at least you'll be able to special summon him. He will never be a brick in your hand as long as you keep, well, spamming out the wind-up monsters effects. Let's see. Okay, and now we got one of the Roundup XE monsters, which is rank 3 fire machine type. Takes 2 level 3s. If this face-up card on the field would be destroyed, you can detach 1 XE material from this card. Instead, once per turn during the end phase, if this effect was used this turn, target 1 card on the field and destroy it. Oh, and it went back to Shark. Okay, but anyway, this card will be a good body on the field because you can just actually summon him in defense mode. If your opponent would try to, well, attack into it with blue eyes, then they just be wasting an attack and you just remove the material and blue eyes go bye-bye next turn. Also on top of that, he would just be sticking around for a while, especially from one of the traps we had got in this box, which is up here, I believe, called Xyz Veil. Face-up XC monster with XC material cannot be targeted by card effects. So he's going to be sticking around for a long time. But also, granted, you probably at least run one copy of that if you run a heavy XC's deck. Now let's check out this number 50 Black Ship of Corn here. So we got another new number monster for our number hunter club. But anyway, he takes 2 level 4 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card. Then target 1 face-up monster your opponent control with attack less than or equal to this card. Send it to the graveyard, and if you do, inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. This card cannot attack the turn you activated this effect. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls with attack less. Okay, so immediately off the bat, this card is okay. If you would run in your deck, it'd be a one of at best, but there's so many monsters that outpower it that you would not get effect off that often. Like if you're gonna be playing a budgeted deck that don't really have much, you'll probably run a copy of him and give him Power of the Guardian so you can actually increase his attack points slowly but surely. So this could be an okay card for later, but you just have to get points up. Okay, let's see what else. Now, this card right here is a monster in the TCG, and I can already see, well, not at the current moment, but it was at one point. Like, I remember this card to a T from its artwork. But anyway, it is a level 4, a rank 4 Earth monster. It takes 2 level 4 monsters, but once per turn, you can detach 1 AC material from this card, then target 1 beast, beast warrior, or ring beast type monster you control, and 1 other card on the field. Restore them. Now, if you're dealing with a problematic card, then this card is perfect for you. Like, you can sack him to even get this effect off, and also for Black Wings who spam the board, they can basically special summon 3 monsters, go into him, and then also get rid of the extra monster that they probably wasn't going to use for an attack, destroy the other monster, and pop. Or vice versa, they could go into Hog, get a token now, go into Hog, go into him, hopefully have a token out because of one of the Blackwing monsters I'm thinking of, and then pop the monster by getting rid of him and go in for game. I know that explanation was confusing. Makes sense in my head though. Okay, now we also got Heldrick Beast Leo. Now the Heldricks is something I interested in because, like I said, I thought these were anime only monsters. I didn't know they were actually ever printed, but they are a interesting archetype. Now I don't think they set up and take my money worthy for this box, but this box do have some cards you should actually get. So I this box is kind of like I guess I spend gems on it. But during the end phase of this turn, this card was normal summon, destroy this card. When this card is sent to the graveyard, then add 1 the Heldrick Beast monster from your deck to your hand, except Heldrick Beast Leo. You can only use the effect of Heldrick Beast Leo once per turn. Okay, so depending on how Heldricks play, he is okay. Because I think last night I was trying to mess around with them in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. But the thing was, it was just that I found a good balance, but I just didn't have enough room to make a 40 card deck out of this archetype. Because I could not think of anything that would combo off great with them. But anyway, next up we got Wind Up Magician, which is another staple card in wind ups, which you will want to get multiple copies of if you're planning to build the deck. If the effect of a wind-up monster is activated, except wind-up magician, you can spell summon 1 level 4 or lower wind-up monster from your deck and face up defense position. The effect can only be used once per turn. Once while this card's face up on the field. Okay? But anyway, this card is really good for your XE plays, and I don't know what happened there. But anyway, yeah. This card is really good. It's a staple basically in windups, so I'm pretty sure if windups turn out to be a really good deck in Duel Links, then this card will see tons of play. And of course, we got Fairy Tale Monsters. Now, of course, what this one's already in Duel Links, I don't know if that for sure. Let me check that. Ignore the woman playing in the background. Okay, yes, he's already in Duel Links, originally just in a selection box. Do we have any other ones? No, she's the only Fairy Tale monster in Duel Links at the moment. Okay. But anyway, back to the video. Uh, so yeah, her effect is the player can target monsters on the field with spell cards or effects, except this one. Once per turn, you can discard one spell card, equip one spell card from your hand, deck, or graveyard to discard, but return that equipped spell card to your hand during the end phase. Now, I was going to suggest Power the Guardians for her, but it's kind of 50-50 at that point. Okay, so let's go on. Once again, you already know my thoughts on Marauding Captain. I'm really excited we get this card. I'm going to definitely be trying to get 3 copies of him. But his generic effect is you can normal summon a copy of him and then immediately spell summon another warrior monster from your hand, or spell summon another warrior monster from your hand that's level 4 or lower. And basically, your opponent cannot target warrior monsters for attacks. And if you want to be trolly, you can literally normal summon Marauding Captain and normal special summon another copy of Marauding Captain from your hand, which make it where your opponent cannot attack nothing on your field at the time unless you summon a monster that's not warrior. So you're just being trolly and stally at that point. Let's see, we got also Charge Up Heltree. I'm just going to read the effect. Target one monster, special summon 2 Heldrick Beast monsters from your deck in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck for the rest of this turn. After this card resolve, except Synchro and Psychic or Machine type monsters. I don't know how come I read Psychic has Synchro, but anyway, you can only activate one of this card once per turn. Okay, so this card immediately sets you up for an Xyz play. It just limits you to Psychic or Machine, which we are through this box from me looking through them earlier. We do have a few Psychic and Machine type Xyz. Well, of course, we got Machine type Xyz because we got windups in this box as well. But anyway, let's just keep going to the Gear, which this was the card that Watch was talking about. You can special summon 2 Gear monsters from your deck and increase their level by 1. You can only activate 1 Gearga per turn. So you can only use this card once per turn, but you get 2 Geargas and you boost the level and go into the one we reviewed further, Gigant X. Oh man, I have a speech impairment. Okay, are we already went over the Xyz Veil? And then let's look at number 18 here. Another new number monster for us. Who does Texas Storm? Small. But it says once per chain during either player's turn, if 2 or more monsters with the same name are on the field, you can detach 1 AC material from this card, choose 1 monster among those with the same name, and destroy all other monsters with that name while this card remains face up on the field. Your opponent cannot summon monsters with the same name as any of the monsters chosen for this card effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send 2 Heldrick Beast monsters from your deck to the graveyard. Okay, so if you're going against Dark Magician, Black Wings, or decks that like to run multiple copies of the same card, you can basically lock them out of the entire deck and constantly just keep popping cards if they go into or try to go into it. Even like the Dark Magician Ritual monster we have, I just can't Magician of not I know it's not Magician of Black Chaos. But anyway, if that card name is treated as Dark Magician, Magician of Illusion is treated as Dark Magician. So basically, you just shut a Dark Magician down with this card. I'm trying to think of what would happen if Dark Magician would activate their navigation, then go into 2 Dark Magicians. You activate his effect on one earlier. I'm pretty sure both of them get popped, but I'm pretty sure the circle will still activate because they did still summon the Dark Magician. So your opponent could just quickly yeet them that way out. But anyway, let's keep going. Okay, we have Wind Up Arsenal Zenmail. This takes 2 level 5s. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, target 2 set cards on the field, destroy them. Okay, so this is back row removal. So this will definitely see play, especially since Wind Ups mainly adjust the levels anyway. Okay, and then again, this card is banned in the TCG. So I'm really surprised to see that it's off for Konami's literally putting it in the game. We already went over it, so we're not gonna read its effect again. But I'm kind of hoping we can go for 2 for 2. Can it get banned in both Duel Links and the TCG? Let's see if we can hit it with the double ban. Okay, we got Heldred Beast. We got Heldred Beast. Just read the effect. It's a dragon monster, level 4 wind. If this card is in the graveyard, you can ban as another Heldred Beast from your graveyard to target one Heldred Beast monster in your graveyard. Add that target to your hand. You can only use the effect of this card once per turn. So it wants to have a copy of itself banished, then for you to target one Heldred Beast monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So he's another recycler for the deck. He just wants one of him to be banished. Don't know if he was playing the deck. Heldred Beast after damage calculations destroy any monster that battles this card. Okay, yeah, this one would see play just for the fun popping, unless your opponent decides to pop it before they even attack into it. Okay, we got Gear Gut Armor. Once per turn, you can change this face up to face down defense position. When this card is flipped face up, you can add one Giga monster from your deck to your hand, except Gigamore. I did not realize this card name was Gigamore. I was reading that it has Gear Get. Yeah, it is Gear Get Armor. Okay, these cards are gonna trip me up on the names. Okay, let's see if there are any other cards. Of course, we got Wind Up Snell coming. During your main phase, you can target one set card on the field, return that target to the hand. This effect can only be used once while the card is face up on the field. Okay, it got 2,000 defense, so it'd be a okay body to have on board. And on top of that, you can bounce your opponent's back row back to the hand as long as it's not activated. Okay, let me see. Run the Rabbit, which I think when I was literally messing around on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, I was like, no to Rabbit. Because you see, I was messing around with roundups last night. But anyway, during either player's turn, you can target one wind-up monster you control, banish it until your next standby phase. The effect can only be used once while this card's on the field. Now, if the effect isn't bad, you do get the wind-up back that you banished, but I don't think Rabbit will see play unless people can find tricks with it. Pun not intended. I realized what I said after I said it. But we got Girga Chains. Target 2 or more Girga monsters with different names in your graveyards. But some of them, immediately after this card resolve, Xyz summon one Xyz monster while using all these summon monsters, but no other monsters have material. You can only activate one Giga Chain once per turn. Now to go in for game, this card will definitely see play. Like if your opponent's able to clear your board and then they go in with an Xyz attack, or going with 2 monsters attacking, and then they activate this effect, special summon Giga monsters, and then Xyz go in for another attack and possibly go in for game on you. Okay, we got Advanced Heldred Arch. Target 2 Heldred Beast monsters in your graveyard. Special summon both of those targets. Immediately after this card resolve, Xyz summon. Okay, yeah, for this deck, this card would definitely be a staple because the deck already tries to boot a lot of the Heldred monsters out. And since this card will allow you to special summon the ones you're forcing out of your deck to go into Xyz play, I'm pretty sure this card will see play easily. Let's see. Okay, they have a field spell called Augmented Heltry. Psychic type Xyz monsters on the field cannot be targeted by a spell or trap effects. Once per turn, you can discard one Heldred Beast monster, add one Heldred spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. Except this, you cannot normal or special summon monsters during the turn you activate this effect, except Psychic type Xyz monsters and Heldred Beast monsters, even if this card leaves the field. Okay, so basically you're playing a pure deck if you're using this field spell, but it protects your Xyz and it basically also is a searcher for the spells and trap cards of the archetype. So we could probably see this card a little bit, depending on how many people are going to actually try to build this deck. I kind of want to build a deck just for the anime memes. See, Helltree Reborn, target one Helltree beast monster in your graveyard, spell summon it. Once again, this will definitely see play just to keep going with the synchro, not the synchro, I don't know how come I keep saying that, to keep going with the Xyz plays. Okay, Wind Up Factory is a continuous spell. Once per turn, if an effect of a Wind Up monster is activated, except during the damage step, you can add one level 4 lower Wind Up monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, that's pretty good. Then we got Gira Gear Giganta XG. It takes 3 level 3 Xyz monsters. And let me just do something because that text is too small for me to read. Opening up Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro here. Okay, okay, yeah. Like we were saying, it takes 3 level 3 monsters during either player's battle step while an attack's evolving. Your machine type monsters is occurring. You can detach one XC material from this card, negate the effect of all face up cards your opponent currently controls. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. These effects last until the end of the damage step. When this face up card leaves the field, you can target one other Girga card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. So essentially, this is a better Ancient Gear Giant. Besides having less attack, yeah, it has 500 less attack points. So I believe this card will see play. Like, this will probably be a staple in Gear Gifts, depending on how fast they can spam the board. Because, like I said, I know the monsters, I just don't know what their that's what I'm supposed to do effect is. But anyway, let's keep going. Now, the monsters I was interested in for the Heldrix, which is number 69, which I'm just going to look up because that text is still too small. And I was right, he does have a Chaos form. But anyway, number 69, Heldry Crest. He takes 3 level 4 monsters. If this card is special summon, negate the effect of all other face up Xyz monsters currently on the field. You can target one other face up Xyz monster on the field until the end of the phase. This card's name become that monster and replace this effect with the monster original effect. You can only use the effect of number 69 Heldry Crest once per turn. So in short, if your opponent have an Xyz monster in play, say Utopia, he can actually negate Utopia's effect and make his effect Utopia's. So that's an okay. Now most matches I've been having lately haven't really sold off too many Xyz, but if your opponent happen to playing Gaga Samurai, oof, then this guy will be really well no. Well, his name would be Gaga Samurai because it says his name is replaced too. So yeah, he could be really abusive with his effects. But now we also got number 8, Eldritch King Genome Heritage, which was one of the staple cards in the anime. I remember in the anime, his effect was basically, hey, your monster don't know its identity anymore. It doesn't have its name. It lost its driver's license somewhere. But basically, I'm that guy now. I stole your identity. But anyway, he takes 2 level 4 Eldritch Beast monsters. Once per turn, you can target one face up Xyz monster your opponent controls. This card name and original attack becomes that monster's name and current attack and replaces this effect with that monster's original effect. Then the monster attack becomes 0, also its effects are negated. These changes last until the end phase. Okay, so unlike the anime, basically the monster that you jack its effect from still knows its name. So unlike the anime, you can't do shenanigans like, oh, because it's not part of that archetype anymore, you don't get any of the benefits of your little combo pieces. So it's still a good card. Outside of that, it would probably see a little bit play, but the fact that like personally for me, I haven't been bumping into too many people using Xyz monsters since Zexal World. Well, since a few weeks now after Zexal World came out. But hey, if you happen to bumping into someone and for some reason you're playing Heldrix, it's a good card. Let's see, we got Heldrick Beast Burner Falcon. When this card is summoned, you can make all face up level 5 for higher monsters you currently control become level 4. Okay, let's see what this one is. If you control 2 or more Heldrick Beast monsters, you can spell summon this card from your hand. Okay, so if you come off with the spell that spell summon 2 and then go into him or her, I'm not discriminating, you can go into number 69. But let's see, Heldrick Beast Twin-Headed Eagle. You can banish this card from your graveyard to target one face-up Xyz monster you control with no Xyz material and 2 Heldrick Beast monsters in your graveyard. Attach the okay, so he basically resets your Xyz monsters effects for Heldricks. So if you're playing the Heldrick deck, it might be a 1 of or possibly even 2. It's up to you. I probably would only run them at 1 just because don't so far I don't know how often you be XC summoning in the deck. It just really depends on how often you able to special summon. Well, XC summon. Hosted Beast Unicorn, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target one psychic type XC monsters in your graveyard, special summon it. Its effects are negated. You can only use the effect of Heldrick Beast Unicorn once per turn. Okay, so it helps you recycle a body, but it just your Heldricks reduce their effects. Okay, and then we got this thing. You can detach one Heldrick Beast monster, special summon this. Oh, you can discard one Heldrick Beast monster, special summon this card from your hand. Once per turn, you can discard Heldrick Beast. This card gains 800 attack. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the archetype can actually summon with ease from what I've been reading from their effects. Like, I would actually run that card just because he can spell summon himself and makes it real easy to just go ahead and go into an Xyz play. But we got symbol for casing. Target one wind up monster in your graveyard, spell summon it face up defense position. Its effects is negated and it cannot be tributed or used as synchro material. That's fine because you're probably going to use it for Xyz material. See, Heldry record. When an effect of your opponent Xyz monster is activated by detaching its own Xyz material, negate the activation if you do destroy it. That just made me feel like why you gotta be so rude. like I said, I've rarely seen Xyz monsters being played of late. But if you do bump to an opponent that's happen to be playing the Xyz monster, then this is just rude. We see Heldry change. When an opponent monster declares an attack, spell summon one Heldry monster from your hand, then in the battle phase. Okay, this is easily a 3 of or a 2 of in the deck. Zen Maelstrom. Tribute one wind up monster with 1,500 or more attacks. Spell summon one wind up monster from your hand. Then you can spell summon one wind up monster from your deck with the same attack as them spell summon monster. It could be used. Don't know. Like, this might be a 1 of, if anything. Now for the Gear Gum cards that I have no idea what they do. See, when this card is normal or flip summon, you can spell summon one Giga monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. Okay. When this card is spell summoned by the effect of a Giga card, you can spell summon one Giga monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, except Giga Mark 3. But its effects are negated, you can only use the effect. Okay, so basically they do spell summon each other a lot. Giga Accelerator. If you control a Giga monster, you can spell summon this card from your hand. Okay, yeah, I can easily see them spamming the field. When this card is normal summon, you can add one level 4 Earth Machine type monster from your deck to your hand, except Giga also cannot declare an attack. No special monster except machine type monster with the rest of the turn. Gear, you can tribute this card, then target one level 4 or lower or one level 4 machine type monster in your graveyard, spell summon it, but its effects are negated. Wind Up Warrior. You can target one face up wind up monster you control, increase its level by 1, and its attack by 600 until the end phase. This effect can only be used once while this card is face up on the field. Wind Up Dog. During your main phase, you can increase this card's level by 2, so make it a level 5, and attack by 600 until the end phase. This effect can be used only once. Okay, and then we got one of the Charmers, which I'm not really interested in. And I believe I already read this card's effect, not in this video, but last night. It changed all face up wind up monsters you control to face down defense position, which is why I'm sleeping on that card. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this little box review. I'm definitely going to be hitting this box up possibly tomorrow on my stream on Twitch. So come check it out. Link in the description to that. Go ahead and go follow me so you know I go live. So I should be live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoy. I'm pretty sure this video is going to be long. But anyway, I'm out. Peace.